You're listening to KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine.
The opinions and views expressed in this program do not reflect those of KUCI, its management, or the UC Board of Regents. To find out more about this talk show or other talk shows broadcasting on KUCI, log on to our website at kuci.org or check out the latest program guide.
This is Ashton Marcus, and I'm on location at Theater 40 for their presentation of 26 Pebbles. Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
Jules Aaron. I direct this lovely show, 26 Pebbles.
Why did you decide to do this piece?
Because I think the piece has something to say in a time when community is so difficult, and I think people need to get together to make sure that not only America, but, that we're all one community, and while we're dealing with a tragic incident, the play is much more about how we deal with it and how we go on after it's over.
This is a really interesting piece. It was a soul-crushing piece. It was one where you don't really enjoy it. You're just mesmerized by it. You're moved by it, and you're kind of drained and kind of filled by it.
Well, it's very well put together by Eric, so it's a lovely piece to begin with. And I'm gifted to have 6 wonderful actors as well as some very good designers, as you have seen. And I think the play is chilling. I know that even as long as I've been working on it, there are still moments that get to me. And it's a great tribute to the piece, and I think to the people involved in this production that still happens.
I agree. Yeah, it was fantastic casting. What do you look for in your casting?
Well, most of the people are from the company, but occasionally we go outside the company. And this is primarily a company piece. I think everyone in the show has, except for Joe Lorenzo, who ironically directed a small version of this at another theater and called us up and he said, "Can I audition for the show?" And I said, "Of course you can." And but I think the other 5 people have all done pieces for the company, and it's always a pleasure to work with old as well as new people that whose work you like.
I've always enjoyed this company's work. I think probably 90% of the shows I just love. Well,
it's a good, solid membership company, and I think David and the artistic board have very good taste in material that they pick. And most often, whether it's a light entertaining piece like the first one or something that has some real meat on the bone like this one, you get a good show. You get a real good show.
Well, I definitely love this piece. I can't really say I loved it because it was so soul-crushing. It was more of I just had to experience the piece.
Well, it is one that's such a lovely way to put it, because it is a piece that you experience. And we hope by the fact that your listeners will find out when they come here, they get to wear tags so they can talk to each other and know each other's names. But that makes it part of the fun of creating that community.
Yeah, once again, I really love the piece. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Oh, well, it's a lovely piece to have worked on.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
George Villas. Well, let's see. I have, this is my second production at Theater 40. I was fortunate to be in Screwball Comedy, so I'm doing back-to-back shows here. So in this play, I get to play a variety of characters. I play a blue-collar worker and a rabbi and an art teacher and a logistics coordinator. So there's a variety of characters that I get to portray in this production.
What are your takes on those characters? What are your favorite characters?
There's really no favorite characters. In this play, you get an opportunity to sort of, play the people of the community. And the 6 of us, as the ensemble in this piece, we really are portraying a town, not really the individuals. We're kind of inhabiting the community and giving life to those people who had to endure this horrific tragedy.
I remember the first time I interviewed you, you actually did a piece about a mass shooting also.
Hi, that's kind of ironic, I know, and it's a few years later, but these things seem to stay in the news media fabric, unfortunately, and so these important stories need to be and will continue to need to be told, and I feel so fortunate to be involved in the telling of this story.
If my viewers decide to come by and see this piece, what should they expect to see?
I call it a celebration piece. It's an incredibly relevant piece of theater that takes a horrific tragedy and uses it to send a message of togetherness and love and hope and connection. And so for that, I'm very grateful to be involved with it. And I'm happy that Theater 40 has chosen a play like this because these plays are very important and need to be told.
I agree. In fact, I really can't add anything to it because, in a sense, this piece basically didn't have any answers. And I always like asking questions to cast members. What can we learn from this? What can we take from this? What did you learn from this? But these questions can never be answered. There's no answer to these questions. I mean, why did it happen? No answer to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do, and I think that's the kind of really the beauty and the horrific, element and the heart-wrenching, gut-wrenching element of this play is that it presents a lot of questions that don't have a finite answer, and in the process hits you right in the gut. And I think the best kind of theater does that and gives you the opportunity to do that. And I just want to thank our director, Jules Aaron, for guiding us through this process and giving us the advice how to sort of get the most out of that. And so for that, I just want to say I'm very grateful. And thank you again for coming. And may our paths cross again on a lighter note.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
My name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. And I'm here with...
Hey, Joe Lorenzo. How you doing? Well, this is my first production with Theater 40. I've been doing theater for 20-something years. And I'm real thankful to be here. What a great show to bring me over, actually. Jules, our director, and David, the artistic director here, came and saw a production that I directed of 26 Pebbles. And we struck up a great conversation, and they were gracious enough to let me audition for them, and thankfully they liked me. And so here I am.
So, question, why did you want to do this piece again?
Well, oddly enough, it's such a powerful and important and beautiful play, and only being able to direct it, I'm much more of an actor than a director, and the opportunity to actually be in the play, which I couldn't do when I was directing it, not a play of this magnitude.
You did a nice job directing.
Thank you, Jules. That's coming from high praise from Jules for sure. So having the opportunity to be in it is something that I was so happy to be able to take advantage of. Yeah.
Okay, and which characters did you play?
I played actor number 2, and actor number 2 is Bill, Darren, the father, and Michael. I'm the lucky man who has 3 wives in the play.
So what's your take on your favorite characters?
It's tough to have a favorite character, but if to randomly, just something that struck me, Bill reminds me of my father in a lot of ways. So if I had to pick a favorite, I would guess it would have to be that, because I have that connection to it. I think one thing that people should not expect to see is just, it may appear to be, they're just going to take us through this tragedy, and I don't want to go sit through that. And that's not what the play is. The play is about a town and how they start out as a wonderful little town. They go through something, and it's more about how do we come out of this? How do we stay a community and get through this? So I think the message and the feeling of the play is resilience and love and community. It is not a play that focuses on tragedy, though that is a part of the play. Yeah.
I remember, this takes me back to actually a story once someone told me about a character named Job, in which basically he went through tragedy, and people always say, why did he go through that? And then there was no answer to it. Mm-hmm. And it's like, some people would blame like some people would blame evil, some people would blame like the devil, some people would blame like gun control. And some people actually blame God that he did it all.
Yeah.
And again, but there's no answer.
No, and that's one of the things that I really love about this play, because it is such a hot button and unfortunately constantly prevalent issue in our society. But the play walks through that minefield without setting any off, in my opinion. It just presents the case and says to the audience, I think you're bright enough to come out with what you want to take out of this. It doesn't take sides. It doesn't preach. It just shows you what happened and how this community survived and went through this. Yeah.
I really love this performance. I loved your performance also. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with...
Hi, Jennifer Locks. I have been a member of Theater 40 for about 7 years. I'm on the artistic committee, and I've done 4 or 5 productions with them now. And I play Jen and Carla in the play. Jen is sort of the person who arranges this meeting, gets everybody together, tries to help change the community and help get people together and rally together for a positive outcome. And Carla is someone who channels, for sure, but she's very realistic, and she doesn't have any points of view per se about gun control. I think her point of view is love no matter what. If she's neither pro-gun or anti-gun, and Jen is very anti-gun. She's very emotional, very anti-gun, and Carla is love for all human beings.
Actually, thinking about this play, I don't think it had a political bias to it. What are your thoughts on that?
No, I think that there's different points of view in this community, and that's what you have to, like Yoli says at the end, you have to build a community. You don't have to like everybody. You don't have to love everybody. You have to build the community. And it's such a beautiful speech that she has. It's very important, I think, to hear everybody's points of views and to not surround yourself with just like-minded people, because otherwise you're not going to learn and grow. And for me, as myself, I think love is the answer no matter what.
So you were on the board?
Yeah.
So question, because you're on the board, why did you choose to do this show?
Well, I'm on the artistic committee, not the board, sorry. The artistic committee. Oh, well, we read the show a couple of years ago, but we couldn't get the rights for it. And David kept at it and was very persistent. I think it's very important to tell these kinds of stories in our current climate, and I think it's, as everybody has already stated, it is about hope, it is about healing, it is about coming together as a community, and I think we really need that. I think we really need to rally around love in this society, because it's so easy to consume yourself in the fear that the media is trying to attach to your everyday life. And it's so easy to get overwhelmed by the stories. So I think this is really a story about love and hope.
I guess it was anti-media, but I won't take that as an offense.
No, it's not about you. No, I'm not anti-media at all. Oh, are you kidding? I'm very pro-media. I'm just saying sometimes you have to shut off from everything, because there's so much coming at you at once because of social media and because of so many things. So this is, it's about connection, right? And when humans aren't connected, we need to connect more.
I was just kidding about that.
I know.
All right, well, once again, I love the piece. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with...
Michelle Schultz. I'm actually a member of Theatre 40 for a couple of years. This is the 3rd time that I've worked with Jules Aaron, which is obviously a great privilege. It's really wonderful. I'm actually a practicing entertainment attorney, so I came back to acting from a really long hiatus doing something else, and it's such a joy.
And which characters did you play?
I was actor number 5, so I played Kat, the town hugger, Carrie, who is a somewhat shy, well-to-do mother who finds her voice throughout the play, and Georgia, the Australian transplant. Well, I think that people may have the wrong idea. I think Joe mentioned this too. That they're going to think that it's a downer, and but it's incredibly uplifting, because what it's really about is how different people come together and form a community, and the strength of the community that allows people to go forward even in really dark times, and that love persists. It's really important, yeah.
I don't know why, but for some strange reason, this thought came into my mind when I was seeing the show. You know, there was this guy who interviewed people who won the lottery. And they say, well, these guys are probably extremely happy, right? And it turns out they weren't that happy. Some of them were actually quite miserable. And they say, okay, let's contrast with someone we know is going to be terrible. Let's contrast them with quadriplegics, right? They interviewed the quadriplegics. It turns out they were actually very happy. And it was bizarre reasons, like they had a fantastic breakfast. Sun is out. Life is just wonderful. For some strange reason, that reminded me a lot about this show.
Yeah, I think that's true, because you can go through very dark times, and you do find that, you know, life comes back, and you can be you're very grateful for what you have. You know, if your child was lucky enough to survive, that's something. But even in tragedy, there can be beauty and renewal, and yeah.
I really love the performance. I love your performance also.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much for being on the show. Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
Rosalind Cohn. I lived in New York for 20 years, did Broadway with National Actors Theater, and this is my fourth show with Jules, and I got very active with the intimate theater world in Los Angeles. And so that's how I stumbled upon Jules a couple years ago and Theater 40, and it's just been such a blessing. And when I heard about this show, I knew I had to be in it. My favorite thing is to do socially relevant pieces. I view myself as, I think the profession of acting is we're really public servants. I think that's our highest calling. We're storytellers, and it's our job to tell a story, to be a vessel to communicate with people.
Great. And which characters did you play?
I played Star, Julie, and Carol. I'm actor number 6. Star is a little bit, airy and a little she's a lot into the spiritual. Her feet aren't totally planted, but she's got a good soul, and she did know the Lanzas. These are all real people. And she did know the family. So I love playing her because she's actually the only character in the piece who had an intimate relationship with them and really stuck up for Adam in this community. I love that part of it. And then Julie is more of a conservative type person than I naturally am, and has a wonderful life, and totally enjoy playing her. And I love Carol because she's such a ball buster.
And if my viewers decide to come by and see this piece, what should they expect to see?
I think they have to know that they're going to be taken on a journey, be ready to go on a roller coaster of a ride. Don't come in with any judgments. Don't think, oh, this is a tragedy. Oh, and my heart's going to be broken in two. I think be willing. Yes, it's a sad thing that happened, but like all really good theater, there's a catharsis and there's a lesson. And not that you're not pounded on the head by it. It's just, it breathes in you. It's a piece that breathes. And I think it allows the audience to breathe after they see it. It will enable them to reflect on the whole subject matter. And I think that's the greatest thing theater can do.
Yeah, I agree. I remember when I first heard about the Sandy Hook incident, obviously I was depressed by it. I was angered by it. I guess I went through the stages of denial and all that stuff. And then I was just left there, and after about, I think, a couple of months, I just forgot about it or something. But this piece actually was pretty, first of all, it took you through the experience, showed you all sides, and it was almost like there was healing at the end of it.
That's the whole point, is the healing. The coming together, that love triumphs the worst tragedies on the planet, because it does. That is the truth. And I also think it makes me cry. It's very beautiful that we all feel that we're so blessed to be doing this show and that we're telling these people's story, and we're just trying to serve them as best we can and get out of the way.
Yeah, I'd like to, when I think back at that circumstance, I'd rather think of this show than actually what I went through back when I first heard about it through the media and all that.
Yeah. It's a beautiful show.
Yeah. Once again, I really love the performance. I loved you
you.
in it also. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
Jean Kaufman. I've been with Theater 40 for a couple of years. This is my second production with them. It's a wonderful place to work. They do beautiful work, and I love the people and the production values, and it's a great experience.
Great. And which characters do you play?
I play Sally, who I would characterize as a townie, and Jerry Ann, who is a healer, and Yoli, who has only been in the town a few years, but loves it and has taken it to her heart, and Yoli is particularly interesting. I mean, they're all for different reasons, because of the hard work that she did to document the things that were sent to the people of Sandy Hook and Newtown, so that they could look at all the beautiful letters and cards and artwork from all around the world, and so that people could appreciate it and see the love that was coming at them.
Great. If my viewers decide to come by and see this piece, what should they expect to see?
Well, they're going to see the struggles of people in the face of tragedy, and how different perspectives, and why it affects different people in different ways, and what they take away from that experience, and how they come out the other end.
Yeah, as a journalist, I try to be unbiased. I try to have cover the entire gambit, the entire spectrum, so the story is completely told. I just don't think it's possible nowadays for a tragedy like that to be clearly told. But I think in this piece, it was actually very fair. It told all sides of it. It was kind of unbiased, and it didn't really hit you over the head. You know what I mean? Right.
I agree. Especially in another character that I play, Sally, and she comes from a family. Her brother is schizophrenic, so she has a particularly interesting perspective on how you never know what anybody's going to do, especially if they have a mental illness. And so every time somebody talks about, well, he did it because of this and he did it because of that, she's thinking, even though I may not be saying anything, sitting there in the background, her journey is very complex because of what she has lived through with her brother.
I actually agree, because again, I recently saw a piece about mental illness. It's different from being. There's a difference between mentally disabled and being mentally ill.
Yes.
And when you explore that difference, it's fascinating on how it could be from the same person and all that. But in this particular case, I just thought it was very sobering, very soul crushing. But I really enjoyed myself.
Good. Well, that's as one of the mothers says about what her little boy says. Every day there are shadows, but every day there's also light, and that is just true of life.
Yeah. Well, I really enjoyed the piece. I loved your acting in it also. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you so much.
26 Pebbles will be playing at Theater 40 from September 20th to October 15th. For more information, go to www.theater40.org. This is Ashton Marcus, and I'm on location at the Gem Theater for their presentation of The Producers. Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
Damian Lorton. Well, I'm the artistic director of the Gem Theater with One More Productions here in Garden Grove, and for the first time in 15 years, I'm back on stage. I'm playing Max Bialystock and The Producers here at the Gem.
What's your take on Max?
That has been my question for the last 3 weeks. I love Max, but he's a despicable, horrible, loving, sweet, kind human being. It's a very interesting role to play. He's a shyster, but a lovely one. The most loving, evil person he can be.
First of all, I love your performance. You're fantastic.
Thank you.
Outstanding. And I was looking at your performance. I was thinking, was this Nathan Lane? Was this Zero Mostel? I was actually thinking that it was actually
it was one of the best performances I've seen. I would put it up there with Zero Mostel, but that's really hard. Now that obviously he's passed away, his legend may have gotten a little bigger than he is. But basically, I thought that was one of the best performances I've ever seen.
Oh, thank you so much. You know, when I was a kid, I saw the movie a few times, and then, of course, I got to see Nathan Lane do it in Broadway. But when I knew that I was going to be a part of it, I put all of that away. I said, I don't want to look at anything. I don't, how do you even compare yourself or try to step into the role that both of these amazing geniuses have done? So you just put it away and you step out and you just try and figure out your own thing.
Again, I thought it was fantastic, and actually, I think this performance was the best performance I've seen at Gem Theater. There are some professional theaters out there. I didn't think it was as good as this. This performance, I'd say, would be like in the top 10 that I've seen this year.
Oh my gosh! Thank you so much. We work so hard. It makes me, it makes me almost laugh that 15 years ago we started in our backyard, and now here we are doing shows like this with a 15-piece orchestra. It's amazing, and to be able to produce such quality theater. And the thing that I like to say is that we're using the artists that are going to be the stars tomorrow. We have so many of these kids that are just working so hard for us, and they're going out and they're doing such great things, and they're getting their start here with us. So I'm just so grateful for the experience that we all get to have together.
Also, again, I'm amazed at the improvement of some of the actors. Some of the actors I thought, well, they were community theater actors. I'd say, yeah, he's a good community theater actor. Some of them, right now, I'm measuring up against professional actors, and like I said before, if I measured everyone, there are some performances like yours that I would say I'd actually enjoyed more. Because there was the times when I enjoyed your performance more than Nathan Lane's.
Oh, well, thank you so much. The whole purpose of our theater is to create a space so that people can become better actors, but more importantly, better artists. And the entire reason why Nicole and I opened this theater is to have a grounding space to allow people to have a stepping stone into a bigger career. So when you look at our staff, you'll see that our choreographers are professional choreographers who work in the field. You look at our designers, our set designers, our lighting designers, our musicians. And if you look at the fact that we have over 42 actors now who've come through our doors in the past 15 years that are doing everything from off-Broadway, Broadway, national tours, every major amusement park, cruise ships, Vegas, they're working everywhere. And it's because our entire purpose of being is to be in service to creating better, stronger artists from our Orange County, Southern California area.
Once again, outstanding performance. I loved it. The best performance that I've ever seen here at Gem Theater. And I hope I see a lot more.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming. I'm so grateful. And please come on out and see what's going on here at the Gem. We're doing some fun things out here.
All right. Thank you once again for being on the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm at KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. I'm here with
Alex Bodrero. I'm really enjoying this show. This show is probably the most inspiring show I've had the pleasure of doing it in a while. I love working with Damien, and we've got such an amazingly positive and talented cast. Such good vibes. I can't tell you. And so I'm just really elated about the whole project.
Great. And which character did you play?
I played Leo Bloom. At the end of the day, Leo's a good guy. He's made some choices in his life. He's had some false inner dialogue with himself, and he's said, I'm not going to date. I'm going to stick to my 9 to 5. That's my lot in life. That's all I can expect of myself. And Leo needed a catalyst, and Max Bialystock was that catalyst. He had the desire inside, but never had anybody to stoke the flame. And I think a lot of us have that. I think for that reason, a lot of people can relate to Leo. He's very clumsy. He's a little more clumsy than most people. He falls down a lot. But he's working through it. I think he's a good example.
I loved your performance. You're fantastic.
Thank you.
It's actually one of the best performances I've seen here. I look at it. Was it Gene Wilder? Was it Matthew Broderick? It was you, basically. You put so much character into it. I mean, it was just wonderful.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. I love Gene Wilder, and I love his performance with it. So I drew a lot from that.
The Producers will be playing at the Gem Theater from September 27th to October 21st. For more information, go to www.onemoreproductions.com. Oct5.com.